everyone. Welcome to X's and O's with LeRoy Butler. And we're going to look at the man the Packers got to stop on Sunday, and that's Mr. Adrian Peterson. And this is a really fascinating play. It's basically the first offensive play from the Bears-Vikings game at the Metrodome. And it really shows, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings try this right out of the gate against the Packers. And essentially what they've done is brought up 8 guys on the line of scrimmage. And they're saying to the Bears, you know, if you want to stop us, you better bring 9 of your guys down and try to stop us. And that's exactly what the Bears did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys to block, you know, with 8 blockers and get Adrian Peterson.
Right.
And you pointed out that they line him up really deep.
Really deep. Yeah, he's almost 8 to 9 yards deep. And they basically do that at times to give him an option of picking his hole. If he's too shallow, then you can almost say he's going straight away. But in this particular play, kind of was a head scratcher with the Bears, because traditionally, if you go back, this is what we call an unbalanced line. But normally they'll take out one of these tight ends or receiver and put in a lineman, and it gives it away. But what was brilliant about it, Minnesota, they kept their guys in and just put everybody up there and just slid one guy over. Now, what the Bears tried to do is, in my opinion, they didn't have enough people accounting for each gap. So, in other words, when the play starts, it's almost like a stretch play. When the play starts in this area, Lance Briggs takes one false step, and that's all the guys need.
Step this way first, and then
he took one false step, and that just opens it up. But all these guys do is, matter of fact, they got good penetration right there. That's pretty good. He almost made the tackle. But these guys will either scoop or reach block. So that leaves 24 wide open. So you got a guy here that can make that play, and a guy here to make that play. And what Adrian does is come through here and hits that gap. Okay, say he does get the first wave of defense. The safety comes up top and takes a bad angle. And then Adrian Peterson redirects and stiff arms him down. Next thing you know, he's out of the gate. You know, all the pursuit, everybody's running, and 54 yards later, big play.
Right.
But again, there should not be a gap open in here.
There shouldn't be, and it's interesting. And you have to, I assume you have to be really disciplined. This guy took a shot, you know, I think it was Israel Donahue, I'm not positive about it, but he took a shot, and what happened was Rudolph just was able to clip him just enough to get him off balance. Then it comes down to this guy.
Right.
And you pointed out that, you know, Adrian Peterson has a two-way kind of way to look at it. So he's looking and he sees this guy. This guy has to contain him, right?
He has to contain him,
He's got to first worry about him getting outside before he even thinks about making an attack.
And we tell little leaguers to keep your outside arm free. And if your outside arm is free, don't get hooked. Because I'm assuming the coaches told him that if they get to this play, 89 will try to block you. But he didn't. He caught himself free, and he kind of hesitated. When you hesitate, we saw Adrian Peterson, he hit that hole with such velocity, I think it caught these guys by surprise, and next thing you know, he's in the secondary.
Right.
He's been doing that all year.
If this were Sam Shields or Tramon Williams, they're going to have to make a play on it.
They're going to have to make that play.
You know, if he bounces it outside, you know, but you can talk about that. How do you play it both ways so that they don't bounce
and your main thing, you want to make sure he's not outside you. Because, look, if he gets outside you, there's nothing.
There's no help.
So you got to make sure you turn it back in. But you got to understand that all these guys in your film study, everybody's going to be blocked. The free guy, if you're Minnesota sitting in the meet room, we want our chances against Sam Shields and Adrian Peterson.
Right.
So we're going to block everybody else and make that tackle. Sam has to commit. You have to take a point of attack to make Adrian Peterson try to force him inside, or the way he has to run literally through you to get outside of you. You have to make an aggressive move. If you wait, get back there and wait and dance with him, like we used to do with Barry Sanders. We didn't learn from that. Next thing you know, we played him again, and we were one of the few people that held him to negative yards. We learned from the understanding of when you get guys like this, get to a point of attack, and you make the play.
Take your shot, right?
Yes.
Take your, I remember Fritz Shermer saying
he always said that.
when you got your shot, take
Yeah.
it. You know?
And make it.
Right. Yeah, and definitely make it. But, the thing about Peterson is, boy, not that big of a hole, but when he hits it.
It wasn't big at all, Tom, but I tell you what, the velocity that he hits this, in his film study, it says that you don't have to block, we can't block everybody, got a 9-man front, but if you get just like Rudolph, another guy they got to stop, just enough of these guys, I could take it from there.
Right, and I think a key will be, if this is B.J. Raji in their defense, to just hold your point here.
Hold your point of attack.
And let the linebackers come in and make the tackle.
Right.
Don't try to get too aggressive.
Yep.
The other thing is, it will be interesting to see if they run towards Clay Matthews' side. Will
That's
they
true.
avoid him the whole play?
I think for the most part, they'll maybe run towards him and cut back towards 93 and 54. Because if you run towards 93 and 54 and cut back to 52, he can make that play in the backfield.
Right.
So to prevent that, you got to run towards Clay Matthews,
Right.
then cut back to the weak side. I think they may feel like and they did it the first time and got over 200 yards.
Yeah, he's good at catching from the backside
Yes.
if you don't block him.
Yeah, but if you go towards him, then you eliminate that.
Okay. Then on the other side, we're going to look at a Packers running play.
3, 2.
So on the flip side, we're going to look at the Packers running game, and it's kind
against
of a
Tennessee.
revamped running game, I would say,
Yeah.
with a three-headed monster of Grant, Alex Green, and Dwan Harris.
Yeah.
And what we're going to look at here is a combination of Ryan Grant's smarts, Jermichael Finley's commitment to blocking, and Evan Dietrich Smith's addition
Never
to the
thought
lineup.
you said before, have you?
What's that?
Jermichael Finley's commitment to blocking.
Not a
say
lot of
that.
people will
Right, I
agree
know.
with that. But so we start over here, and it's a simple running play where these guys block ahead for Grant. And then why don't you show what happens
Yeah,
along the line here?
I think for the most part it starts with number 12 because he looks at the front
Right.
because first the play is designed to go to this side. He read over, takes it back to the other side because eventually the first play you want to come here because there's a soft bubble. You got an easy block on this side. They got 3 guys, you got 3 guys. But on this side you have the number. So it takes a smart quarterback to understand where to take that. So Rodgers is brilliant when it comes to that. So once he makes everything, all the checks, everything is fine. Now there's a couple of blocks that if they don't make these blocks, this run doesn't go for as long as it did.
18 yards.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, Randall Cobb's commitment to blocking is exceptional on this particular play. Now you get the double team blocks here, but Evan Dietrich Smith not only gets the double team here, but he moves and gets just enough of that guy to make him take that angle instead of this angle, and that makes a big difference. Now, when this guy comes through,
Yeah, it's actually on this guy.
on this
he
guy.
He
makes that double team and knocks the other guy. This guy's coming through, I think it's number 55 running. So now, Jermichael Finley has to do one or two things because 74, Newhouse can't get that block, reach that block. The guy's too much far outside of him.
Right.
I don't want to get in the way. But when he's trying to reach, he cuts this guy off and then he moves and cuts this linebacker off. Now, Grant sees that. Now, most running backs, and as I showed you earlier, there is a hole here.
There was a nice lane.
Because this guy left and Barkley cut this guy off. An elusive running back, Adrian Peterson, can cut back and he's gone. But that's not how the Packers, hold your eraser, the eraser. That's not what the Packers want to do.
Well, and plus it was Grant reading exactly,
Yes.
what his best option was.
That's a great way to put it. So he has the numbers. So he's going to get what we call a soft corner. So when he gets to this particular point, Jermichael Finley has to make this block.
Right.
Normally that's Crabtree, because Crabtree's a better blocker.
Right.
But if you're in my film study, you're saying they're not going to run to Jermichael Finley. He's in there it's a pass.
Right.
So they're playing, Tennessee's playing pass.
Yeah, they got both safeties back.
Yeah, they're saying, we're going to just play pass, and this guy's playing pass, so it's an easy block here. Next thing you know, he's out of the gate for 18 yards, and this guy eventually comes down to pursuit, gets Grant because he runs out of the angle. But I think it's awesome how this offensive line, in that short of time, with a new center, to understand the blocking scheme to make these plays work. Because if this play works, okay, now what you're going to get is play action, and you're going to get 18 run what we call an 8 route. You're going to get 8 and 9 long, and you're going to get 85 a stop and go, and he's going to throw that for a bomb.
Right.
So, but this play has to work. If that doesn't work, then you'll get 88 come across here. So the play action works if the running game works.
Exactly. So if there's a threat, then Tennessee actually did play some cover 3, with the single high safety.
Single high safety, they did.
They were a little bit worried about the run. But and it also shows that with Dietrich Smith, he can get out to this guy.
Yes.
He was able to put a good block on this guy and then get out. He was a tiny bit late because this guy eventually made the tackle, but
he got him
was
just
good
enough. He got him just enough. And now that T.J. Lang is he just mauled this guy on a couple plays, drove him down the field. So if you can get a double team and a scoop block on any of these linebackers, cut them off, and Jermichael Finley can wall off this end with Newhouse, now you get what we call a soft corner. And 18 has to be committed to making this block.
Right, and I think you'll see them do this against Jared Allen. You want to run
question.
at him. It's better than running away from him.
And then you'll see the play action where they'll get Finley all the way over. He'll be wide open here, or he can go 1, 2, or 3. You got to stop and go outside. You got the over route by the tight end, and you got an 8 route by 18. Your supposed should have been Pro Bowler Randall Cobb.
All right, great. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll be back after the Minnesota game to look at that. A couple
Hopefully
plays
after
from
a
there,
victory.
and then we'll go from there. We'll see if it's a bye or not.
Yeah, bye.